let us start with every day is actually a day that we dedicate to love and loving each other with flaws and imperfections. For those of us who are those pacha handshakes, so secure attachment, differentiated, an individual who has healthy self worth, it's not confusing to love yourself first. And that's because you have bilateral integration. And so your left and right mode, they work very well, and you have the ability to be meta aware. And this is not some superpower, although I know some people might think it is, and those people are the very same people that we love to engage with, those Cuscos out there. So any person who's taking seriously becoming their lovely secure attachment, differentiated self, and a healthy self-worth person. So before we continue, let me finish some quotes, and we're going to have some lovely cards for my mystics. Don't worry, I won't leave our mystic stuff behind. Actually, there's a bunch of energies. Yesterday was really, really interesting, and I did look into it a little bit, but we'll keep that for our longer episodes. And anybody who is new, you can follow IHP on any of your favorite podcast platforms. YouTube, of course, that's where I'm at right now, and TikTok. You can also become a paid subscriber, yes, but that's for specific guidance that you can only say, I think she can give me specific guidance once you've heard enough the content and personal development, and also you're interested in becoming an emotionally mature person, because some people, they don't find it interesting to actually expand their emotional body. They find it suffering, and we're going to leave that to the side because they actually are not even going to the good trauma educators. There's plenty of free content online, so there's a lot of those squirrels from the Emperor's New Groove. Yeah, so let's share love with them. That's exactly why those of us who easily love ourselves first, believe in ourselves, and so it's that healthy self-worth thing we get to share with the people who want to come on over here, because they're the ones who actually I'm looking to share a light for, the ones of us who love easily with flaws and imperfections, because we have them, because we'll respect that you feel that we have flaws and imperfections, because again, we're using bilateral integration. So when you meet a pacha, we don't lecture Cuscos. That's for the codependent types who are martyrs, superiors, blamers, and there's plenty of them out there. And all of the ones that I have met, they refuse when I talk to them about structural dissociation. I talk to them about their body and their emotions, and they will say, no, 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 no. Keep reading me what I want you to read me. And here's where Ursula from The Little Mermaid, except for I'm not an Ursula, meaning I'm like, okay, I understand that you don't understand. And this is where it's in my brain, though, because I have in front of me what is an adaptive child, which any trauma therapist that you will ever learn from, and I've learned from many, they'll say, Maria, you can't do anything. We actually negotiate. So therapists negotiate with their patients to get out of the hell that is their trauma memory. Okay, so that's how painful it is. And some of us, we understand the words that we learn, and we, in fact, learn how to continue to be unconditionally loving because we don't perpetuate the shame, defectiveness, unfinished business, unresolved trauma that those who think that they're actually supporting mental health when they're saying, I think you're a covert narcissist. I think I'm going to build a channel that says, here's 10 ways to get underneath the skin of a narcissist. I've seen this online. I'm surprised that nobody's went to the person and said, hey, knock, knock, I'm your colleague. I saw some of your content. I think you have it confused. That's because some of those same colleagues are in the same boat. And apparently nobody remembers that all people that are not actually healthy self-worth need a good therapist. Again, I mean, some of us, we're like, that's interesting. That's an Ursula, but she's not a mystic. That's why woo-woo, pseudoscience, anybody who doesn't believe in mysticism, totally not offended at all. That this is what healthy self-worth looks like. Like, you can tell me whatever you want to my face. And actually, it's nice when they can tell it to your face. When you tell it behind my back, I'm a mystic, I have superpowers. But no, I don't, but I do. But we all do. So let me get back to serious business. Okay, Sadhguru. Love is not a transaction. It is a certain exuberance and sweetness of your emotion. It was really awesome, Sadhguru. This was last year. This year, he shares with us how love is freedom and joy, while attachment is slavery and suffering. And attachment, see, this is where if you don't have secure attachment, If you don't get to your own 0 1-year-old, and this is a whole journey, we chit chat about it on the long episodes. Let me get out of that. So here's my quote: love is supporting each other to fly. Love lifts you up when you're down, and it soars the skies with you when you're up. Love is always there. I've seen people who say they love people and they are not helping them up. No, they're literally shoving them down with shame language. What is it? Also fault, blame, and revenge. Let's not forget about the stories that people create in their angry circuit. I've seen plenty of squirrels and Cuscos around. I can say that it's quite interesting when they turn to you as you try to really not know how to say, wow, you're pretty much, I'm not really sure what to say to any of those quote unquote, and I do quote because evil is simply a person who needs a good therapist. Evil ignorance, therapist, education, and out of this idea of let me point a finger and use words that I don't know anything about. Okay, let's also do lastly Maya Angelou. I love this one. So, 1, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. This one's fascinating. The second one, I do not trust people who don't love themselves and tell me I love you. She says there is an African saying which is, be careful when a naked person offers you a shirt. Now, I'm going to share something a little bit different than what words she used, because of course she says I don't trust. I don't know how much she knows about when a person has unfinished business, meaning unresolved trauma. However, as she does point out, a person who's naked and offering you a shirt, where'd you get the shirt? Okay, so when you don't know how to love yourself first, this is where you're saying you love me, but you don't know what it is. Okay, so let's talk about loving oneself first easily. You have to have secure attachment for this to happen. Have to, not because it's a must, but that's the way that you're going to be okay with being flawed and imperfect. And so let me read to you Bruce M. Wilmer. Believe in yourself to the depth of your being. Nourish the talents your spirit is freeing. Know in your heart when the going gets slow that your faith in yourself will continue to grow. Don't forfeit ambition when others may doubt. It's your life to live. You must live it throughout. Learn from your errors. Don't dwell in the past. Never withdraw from a world that is vast. Believe in yourself. Find the best that is you. Let your spirit prevail. Steer a course that is true. Okay, I love this. I've had this since I was 15. And before we get to wrapping up, let's talk about the lovely Daniel Siegel, who I get to learn about the mind, the brain, and relationships with. And in one of my recent courses, I'm still finishing it up, he talks about couples who go to him or have gone to him after reading one of his books on parenting, and they realize that their relationship is not being met emotionally because there's bilateral non-integration. So some people, they don't have the access to their right mode, which is actually all of our nonverbal cues. So it's about the vocal, the voice, the eyes, facial expression. I'm looking for my notes right now and I'm losing you, I know, by the minute, meaning I'm running out of time. Okay, anyways, I will not be able to do all of it, but there's 7 of these that the right mode. And so when you don't have access, if I look in your eyes and you look in mine, but you're not actually actively always within the sensation realm, which a person who has not secure attachment will have a challenge with. A person who has not healthy self-worth, like Terry Real has pointed out, and so has Patrick Tiahan. These are 2 beautiful therapists online. You can find their information. Both of them have said when somebody says love yourself first, it's confusing. It's not confusing for all of us, which is why we take leaps of faith with the beloved. And it's with curiosity, openness, acceptance, and love. So like Pacha, we don't lecture Cuscos. We understand that some people, they need to find their way home to their self, and their mind is how they get there. But they need to be with conscious lovers who can say, you're perfect with your flaws and imperfections, just the way you are. Remember, we're one cloth and passion. It's about balance. And it's about your ventral vagal nervous system. And it's about you being able to have functional adult relationships. The love language is one of our oxytocin gene hormone, which is enabled when we are safe to sit with each other as ourselves. We don't work for love. We don't suppress any of our emotions or any of our patterns of behavior. And we do not say you're not accepted. We say we can talk it out. We can talk it out always, because that's exactly, not lecture, talk like grown-ups. So tune in for more. Have a wonderful V-Day, Valentine's Day, Love Day. Every day should be V-Day.